Hello, welcome to another episode of Full Circle with me, Onyx. And today I want to talk about relationships, especially like in with kind of more like finding a partner, dating. Uh, but when we really think about it, relationships happen at every stage of our life, in every aspect of our life. We're having a relationship with our body, we have a relationship with our finances, with our environment, uh, different stages in our life, a relationship with ourselves as a 5 year old, and the world, and the classroom, and your family, and your business associates. And so I consider where I work a partnership, and it's either working for me or it's not. And I might have to divorce my work. I might have to divorce my best friend. I might have to divorce myself from my apartment. Or they may be asking a divorce from me, from that job. So it's interesting, and then you can look at it as a bad relationship. When I worked for this company, they never listened to me, they never appreciated me, blah, 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 blah. And so learning to flip scripts, reframe things, see things from another perspective, you can gain a lot of personal insight. When you are traumatized, when you have baggage to work through, we all have our own baggage. We have needs that weren't met. And we build up this filter that I've talked about in past videos. You know, I now call it the box. I'm going to start calling it the cube because I've really, over the years, have polished it off, and I really now understand the filter as like a six-sided object. And so, just to go over those six sides real fast, we basically have beliefs, and you know, that would be like labels, and just beliefs. And then the other side of the box is memory, which has emotional, personalized attachment to it with images. So I just call it memory, but it does include emotions, images, content that you've symbolized, personalized. These memories serve kind of as like benchmark markers in your life. They put a pin in it, and we'll get back to it. We personalize it with a thought, with a feeling, with a snapshot image, like your 5 year old birthday when you got your favorite bike, the emotions were really intense, and it was like, I would like to remember that, or I would like to reminisce about that, or a tragic moment. So, usually with memories, why don't we just remember every single moment of, we have priorities through our personalization, okay? So so the other side of the box is memory. On the back side of the box, I like to call it triggers. Um, uh, and that could be more of like the actual volatile fuel of emotions, you know, like you have a full tank of gas to punch it and go from 0 to 100 in an angry outburst because you feel triggered, or you have a different type of emotional battery storage pack, and it makes you so depressed and crazy you want to kill yourself, and or you feel super heavy, and you can't get out of bed. uh so that back side of the box I like to call triggers, because yeah, you can get triggered, but you need that emotional energy to move your body, to say what you're going to say, to get possessed with emotions, to do these actions. So it's like kind of like when someone's in danger, then all of a sudden you go into fight or flight, or you could all of a sudden pick up a car and save someone's life or jump a fence and you didn't know you had it in you. You know, that's the type of like emotional power that we have in reserves, just kind of silently sitting there in storage, layers and layers within ourselves. Okay. So the bottom side of the box, I like to call environment. And that includes objects, people, places, and things that you can personalize, that you can create sentiment about. Um, but we also use them, the props, you know, to build up our wardrobe of our identity. They can be signature pieces that say, this makes me me, that makes you you. I go to this building, I speak to these people. So we really do need a stage with all its props to world build in our simulation of our life to experience ourselves. Okay? And so these are tools, these are aids. This is the paraphernalia of your reality. On the top of the box um, is actually kind of like the behaviors that we act out. Okay, so we're triggered. What behaviors are we going to select to act this out, that I'm angry, or you're my boyfriend, or I love you, or I hate myself, or so these behaviors are repetitive. These behaviors reinforce this whole structure that I like to call the filter, the construct, the cube. Okay. So all sides of the cube support all other sides of the cube. So is it any wonder that we get stuck in the cube, in the matrix, in our box, in our psychological gel, in the negative side of our personality, and the information coming in doesn't come in clear and true. It comes in distorted, or I didn't mean to say it like that. The information comes out distorted. So when you realize most people are somehow moving in and out of their box, they're not completely free of it, and most of the social issues going on within relationships is from the box, you can then kind of give yourself a lot of permission. You can be like, wow, God gave us a mind. And it's also a highly destructive thing. It's so powerful and creative and good. But on the flip side, the paradox is even though humans have been given this next level mind, uh, we haven't mastered it. So we really hurt ourselves a lot with it. Knowing this, you can be more forgiving and understanding of your partner and humans and yourself. Okay, so what is the other side of the box, Onyx? I actually call it ego. Um, it is your identity, it is your character. And within your ego, you have many kind of egos. But, you know, it's like, and so you could also call it just pride. And it shows up as the need to be right. The ego has a natural tendency to say, to claim things to support itself. And it says, I am not that. I am not you. I am not this experience. I am not this. And in doing that, it's also affirming, because I am not that, I'm showcasing that I am this. So the ego is all about playing what I call the black and white game. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm this, I'm not that. And it's trying to separate itself as it's designed to do, to create a function of personal identity and structure. So this goes into having personal boundaries, knowing who you are. So there's positives and negatives. Without your ego, you would blend into the universe and like dissolve. You'd blend into the the problems and be possessed by thoughts, feelings, emotions. You would fall prey to other people's suggestions, their take on the world. You would become just like them, and you would sacrifice your own personal experience. So with the construct, you can't get away from it, but you could also be the architect and make changes as you desire. And so you can be kind of become the creator. So usually what happens is sometimes one side of the box is being activated, and it will utilize three other sides of the boxes or two other sides of the boxes, because it's really just one huge box. They're all active. If one side is active, you have to say the box has now been activated. So, um, and it can get really dangerous when three utilized in a combination punch for a knockout experience. You know, I feel offended, could be the triggering. I'm now the behavior going to scream and yell at you and use obscenities. And the whole time this is going on, I'm remembering the abusive arguments I would have with my parents when they tell me I couldn't go out and do this and I couldn't go out and do that. So now you, my partner, the stranger, the present experience is now gonna is not seen clearly. So projection happens with filters. And what we project out, you know. So I call it the big mistaken. Oh, you mistaken me for your father. No, or you mistaken me for some past trauma. You mistaken me for the tree that you think you can scream at. I'm actually a human being, so I'm walking away. So there's a lot of mistakens. And I like to call it mistaking. Mistakens. Uh, forgiveness for giving. I'm going to give to you. I'm going to foresight give to you a little piece of compassion. I'm going to foresight forgive myself. I'm going to look deeply at the past, present, and future. I'm going to expand my view into a broader perspective and put things back into place. I'm going to use that God given ability of awareness, you know, and self reflection. So, this is your toolbox, okay? And so, where does this twisting come in? You know, information's coming in, we're having experiences, and it can get twisted uh, by our mood. So we have a lot of moods going on all the time. It's always in a flux. And if you're in a negative mood, a very positive experience could be happening and you fail to see it. It's happening, but you're discounting that experience and you're focusing on the negative. And so you're kind of twisting the actual present moment, the information. So actually, the present moment is completely neutral. And when you really come to realize it, it's completely positively neutral. So you can have a negatively neutral, which looks like barren, absent, and void, and depleted. You can have a positive neutral, which is energized, vital, and abundant, just very ripe with that creative life force. What makes it neutral is it hasn't been described. It's still a nice, clean canvas to work on. But we want, so yeah, even neutrality. So neutrality itself is just neutral, but but the energy, that foundational energy, can also be polarized. So understanding polarity is really important. We live in a world of polarity, or the construct of polarity. It offers contrast, okay? Contrast gives you the ability to see clearly both. So in oneness, it's all here now. Within that oneness, we separate it in a way to create polarity so we can understand height, width, depth, distance, time, and space. So we get dimension through polarity. So that's what it is. It's not a big deal, okay? Uh, but when you see something as clearly dark, you go, wow, that's pretty dark. When you see something clearly light, you go, wow, that's pretty light. Well, how do you know it's so light? Because in opposition to it is so, so dark, okay? So very basic. And so with breakups, so now that was all the foundational information you need. You, uh, so now you can start saying, I have a tendency to flip things and they can get distorted. I can mistake things. My brain and all the knowledge I have is all history. It's not present, and all I can do is maybe project forward possible future and outcomes to keep myself safe or to go towards meeting my needs. Everything I'm projecting forward is technically outdated. It's an old Star Trek show, okay? So a lot of times how we're relating is with outdated information to present experiences. And it looks like repeating patterns. The only thing the only thing repeating pattern is the construct, the artificial self, and the artificial world and the artificial box that we're in. A lot of people call it a matrix. Um, so, so, so this came up for me. I got rejected by a really hot guy. Okay, I thought it was going really well. I was being my natural airy self, putting my best foot forward. Of course, um, I'm just gonna keep going and going until someone kind of gives me the signal to slow down or stop. And of course, I missed the first signal. When they start to voice their differences and opinions. And I'm like, well, that's cool. We can have difference of opinions. Let's keep going. This is fun. I'm excited. I'm interested. And then I got blocked. And I was like, ouch. And then I was like, wait a minute. When someone is rejecting you, when someone is saying, I can't have that level of fun with you today, I can't go to the next commitment level with you, I can't meet you where you're at, I can't vibrationally match you, we're not in alignment. Why did I feel the need to own it and go, well, maybe I'm not attractive enough, maybe I'm a loser, or why did I not take the information as neutral? Why did I also say thank you? Thank you for letting me know you're not a vibrational match. You haven't done your inner work. Maybe you don't self-reflect, or actually maybe you're in a deep personal process and you are in the work, doing the work, but you're deep down in the work. So we're not a vibrational match now, maybe after, you know? So things aren't exactly black and white. I'm not exactly rejected. My ego doesn't have to take the hit. I can reflect on all my past history, which is part of the memory box. History, the story, the way we choose to tell it for ourselves, and the incentives, payoffs, the reasons why we choose to spin it in a negative way. And so, why take it like that? When in the reality of it, I could be saying, oh, that was so compassionate of you to block me. Because I couldn't see all the red flags. And you know yourself. And you know you're not healthy right now for other people. Not exclusively me, ego. Me. My life, it's so important. Everything needs to be personalized and recorded in the history box. No. Instead, it was because you are that beautiful, because you are that special, because you are that excitable, because you are that great of a person, flipping and twisting the narrative. I don't want to harm you. It's best if I walk away. When you shine your light, you're actually letting me know where I need to work. Ouch. So being in your light, being in your goodness, being in your authentic power, your personality, your care. Thank you for taking the time, but because I'm now so stuck in my garbage, my ego, my baggage, I now need to go. I feel a strong need to be triggered and react and go hide underneath a rock and maybe sulk, because maybe a lot of truth was revealed. So, love, light, higher energy frequency vibrations shines light into the dark and reveals. So, that's actually why it's scary for people to be open, honest, and vulnerable, because it sheds light into their own darkness. Darkness is just the absence of light, okay? It's just it's showing it's showing the shadows, it's showing the wounds. So since it's my reality, my construct, my story, I can stop feeling bad when others can't meet me at my level, whatever level that is, right? When they're, some days people just can't come out and play. Sometimes we're just in a mood because it's that baggage, it's that content. So, how to get over a relationship, how to get over a breakup, how to get over a rejection, how to get over being fired, how to get over being framed by someone else's narrative and perspective. Flip it, untwist the twist. Recognize that we have a lot of scripts, a lot of stories, a lot of perceptions, a lot of narratives going on that are twisted. So if you twist in the other direction, you untwist it and get clear again. You're not being deceived. It's not total manipulation. If you braid something, you have to unbraid it, okay? And so that was the level up. So I was like, am I gonna set my hurt down? Set what I think is right down? Am I willing to be wrong? Because wrong and right really don't exist, okay? So if you're feeling so right and you're feeling so wrong, switch it. So if you're feeling so right about something, oh yeah, that guy totally deserves to be rejected. I'm just going to block his ass. Or I'm never going to talk to them again, or they deserve the punishment and the wrath. I'm standing up for my rights and my gender and my nationality and whatever. Consider being wrong. Go, okay, I, I'll just put that on the shelf for a minute. How is that wrong? Well, I guess I'm not really showing up as my authentic self. I guess maybe I'm not in the power position to be dishing out punishment. Like, why do I need to feel so, oh, I guess I need to be in control. I guess I need to exert force because I feel so powerless. Well, all I know is I'm either exerting force and feeling successful and powerful, or when I'm not, I'm feeling like a failure. I'm feeling weakened. I'm feeling like I'm not getting ahead. Oh, maybe this is all programming. Mistaken of identities, mistakens. Maybe I'm most powerful just being. I'm not Maybe find my center, come back to me. Maybe what a great gift. If I can't be with you, I get to be with me. I get to come back to me, fill up my tank. Whoa, I'm starting to feel better. Whoa, I guess I am capable. I guess I can meet my own needs. I guess there is no loss. So then I don't need to feel so angry. I don't need to feel so. In a power struggle, there's must be that black and white game sense of loss. You took something from me. The victim, the martyr. I had to sacrifice something, basically means you took something from me. You now have it. No, I have me. It's like I can't disconnect truly from me. So thanks for the reminder. What a gift, what a blessing. And now all my energy comes back to me. If you believe in like soul loss and all that weird stuff, it all comes back to you. They're not here. They left. They ditched you. They stole whatever you thought they stole. They ran away. Bye. I'm not my history. I don't have to be my behaviors. I don't have to be my beliefs. I can return to the only infinite relationship, which is with myself. And I can find my power again. What a gift to lose. One of my favorite quotes is losers win and winners lose. Everyone's trying to be a winner and they lose the things that are actually valuable about themselves, about others, and about life. We're all trying to get to somewhere. We're all meddling with nature and life and each other, causing a lot of harm. When, if you're willing to lose, I don't need all that high tech space travel. I don't need it. I don't need all the extra psychology. I'm going to keep it basic. I'm going to keep it real. I'm willing to lose all that advancement for my inner peace, for a relationship with myself. What a gift. The ultimate loser being gifted with the ultimate prize. So, full circle, or the full untwisting, let's get back before the story began of how you were victimized, of how you have a void and you need to fill it, and how we blame our parents for our unmet needs and why we do what we do. Before this all started, I was myself. And when it all ends, I will be myself. The Alpha and the Omega come back together. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And if they have baggage, they have baggage. It is their loss. And it's not your loss. You thought it was your loss. It was your gift. You gained. They lost. They lost you. You're really leveling up in your self-worth. You're really leveling up in your clarity when you start to really understand it's your loss. My time, my energy, my love, my wisdom, my insight, my personal authority, my greatness, my inspiration, my infinite awesome, it's your loss. So I don't need to feel bad. It's not a ouch. It's not a one up. You're not greater than me, but you're the one who can't see now. You're the one who has your box. You're the one who thinks someone else is going to be better than this. There's the equality again. We are all equally awesome. We are all equally unlimited. The packages may be presented differently on the stage of life, but the potential of infinite love is there. The potential of boundless joy and abundance is there in all of us. You are not less than. You are not given less than. The wrapping paper just looks different, but we're all opening up the same piece of candy. That's it. So people are being fooled by the packaging. They're being fooled by the advertisement, the labels. We fool ourselves. That is all the smoke and mirrors of the illusion. So I put a higher value on that person because the packaging looked great. But when you start to unwrap it, it's all the same. So you can unwrap the package that is you. You can find the greatest soulmate who can give you all that you need is right here. The one who can be your sugar mama and your sugar daddy, your security, your abundance, your peace, your strength, your hero, uh, that permission to feel safe in the world, that permission to feel beautiful and graceful. You are it. And in a really twisted way, the less people that show up is actually a sign that you're actually higher and higher quality. Bizarre. The more valuable you are, and the more you understand it, the more others see it, and you embody it, the less people show up. They all have their own unworthiness issues. They're like, I'm not worthy. I need to go back to the psychologist and talk it out for 10 more years. Okay, you're wasting my time. I'm unworthy. I need to go cheat. Okay, go do that. Go fulfill yourself. Go out into the world that is empty and find another, who can. So doing the inner work is unwrapping the gift that you are. It's processing your trash, your garbage, your baggage. So thank you, universe, for everyone that is not available for me, who's running away, who's fighting me. It's letting me know they have stuff to work on. What a great gift. I can just start to take it for what it is. The person screaming at the register. I don't need to personalize it. And if I am, I get to choose how that script goes. They feel unworthy. That's why they're exploding. Because your reflection, slapping them across the face, letting them know their illusion isn't real, that they're deceiving themselves, that their mask isn't working. That's what's going on. They're in shock. They're in horror.